Hello everyone and welcome back to Beatles Tone's Beatles channel. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining me for this video. Hope you're all doing well. I thought I'd do a very quick video just to talk about Oasis comeback gig last night at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff. I was doing a live stream last night and we talked quite a bit about, quite a few people wanted to talk about Oasis and their comeback tour. So I thought I would just go through what they played last night. I did spend quite a lot of time watching some fan videos from the gig, and it looked like Oasis were on, they were on really good form. They looked really good. When there was always this risk that they would start this tour, have an argument, and one of them would walk off the stage. That didn't happen. If you're a fan of Oasis, you'll probably be familiar with that gig right near the end, before they broke up in 2009, that they played at the Roundhouse, where Liam got the right ump. He was abusing the audience, and during the song Slide Away, he just decided he wasn't going to sing, and he just sat on the drum riser and let Noel sing the remainder of the song, and he just looked on, and he just looked really sad. None of that last night. It looked as if it all went very well. Noel and Liam came out on stage holding hands. Well, Liam had his maracas in one hand and he had Noel's hand in the other. And it all seemed to go very swimmingly. They sounded great. Liam's voice was great. He looks better now. I think he looks better now than he did back in 2009. Now, my history with Oasis is that I loved them back in the day. I loved them. I was kind of in right from the start with their debut album, Definitely Maybe, which is probably their best album. Absolutely love that, and the follow-up album, What's the Story, Morning Glory. And then from then on, I always felt that Oasis albums were delivered diminishing returns as we went through, and I kind of got out in 2002. Heathen Chemistry was the last album that I bought, but I did buy a whole bunch of Oasis CD singles, loads of them. I'm not sure how many there are, but probably about 15 or something, because they gave so many, gave away so many great songs on their singles as B-sides, a lot of which they played last night, and I'll go through that in a minute. But this was the last one that I bought, which is Who Gives Love, which comes to their fourth album, Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. I was already starting to get fed up by the time that came out, but this one they did a cover of Helter Skelter on it, which is great. But last night the set it opened up. Well, they came out to a recording of the track "Fucking in the Bushes," which is the opening track on Standing on the Shoulders of Giants. But the first track they actually played was "Hello." It was obvious that was going to be the opening track, but I had wondered whether they would do the Gary Glitter bit. They in the studio version of "Hello," they at the end of the song they play, I think only on guitar. They don't actually sing it. I think they play the melody of the Gary Glitter track, Hello, I'm Back Again. Of course, back in '95 when that came out, we didn't know about Gary Glitter then. So I did wonder whether they would include that in the song when they played it live. But they did, and they actually sang it. So they sang, both Noel and Liam together sang Good to Be Back, Good to Be Back. It was an obvious opener, and they couldn't really open with anything else. Track 2 was the B-side, Acquiesce, which comes from the single of Some Might Say, which is just a brilliant track, really good track. How they threw that away on a B-side, I will never know. It's such a good track. They then went into the title track from their second album, Morning Glory, and then they played Some Might Say, a hit single, #1 in the UK. Bring It On Down was next from Definitely Maybe. Then they went into Cigarettes and Alcohol, which is that single there, and one of its B-sides, Fade Away, was the next track. The next one, Supersonic, their very first single, another brilliant song with humorous lyrics, like that one a lot. Roll With It was next from Morning Glory, and then it seemed I think they might have done a little bit, not really an acoustic set, but a couple of acoustic based songs. Talk Tonight, which also comes from the Some Might Say CD single, another B-side that they threw away, a great song. Then followed by Half a World Away, which is another B-side, this time from the Whatever CD single. And then they did Little by Little, which comes from Heathen Chemistry. That is the latest song in their catalogue that they played last night, very sensibly. Most of the songs come from the first two albums, and the B-sides from the singles that came from those first two albums. The next track that they did was the first from their extremely bloated third album, Be Here Now. Do you know what I mean? Now on the single and on the album version, it takes about a minute and a half to get actually into the song. The song starts with helicopter noises and guitar feedback and all that sort of stuff. The single version was over 7 minutes long, and quite wisely they cut that down. They cut out all that nonsense at the beginning and just played the song from where it starts properly, so it ended up being about a 5-minute version of the song. The next song was the second single from Be Here Now, Stand By Me. They played that next. Then Cast No Shadow from What's the Story, Morning Glory. Then Slide Away, that brilliant track from Definitely Maybe. Then they went for Whatever, which I think it's been quite a long time since Oasis played this. I think they last played this maybe in the 90s. I can't remember. Then they finished. The penultimate track was "Live Forever," brilliant song, and that is the CD single, which actually has a cover picture on the cover of John Lennon's house, the house that he grew up in, Liverpool Mendips, on the cover of that. But during this song, Oasis showed an absolute piece of class, really, because during the song, which is called, as I say, called "Live Forever," they put up on the screen a picture of Diogo Jota, the Liverpool footballer, who was tragically killed along with his brother in a car crash only on Thursday. So that must have been like a last-minute adjustment to their video show that they had on the screens behind the band. Of course, Oasis are Man City fans, and Man United and Liverpool are their bitter rivals, but they showed a bit of class and dedicated Live Forever to Diogo Jota. As I say, Oasis back in the day, they couldn't always be couldn't always be seen to being very classy, but they're grown-ups now. And that was an absolute piece of class to put that in. And as I say, it must have been a last-minute adjustment to their video show, because it only happened on Thursday night. The final song from the main set was Rock and Roll Star, the opening song from their opening album, Definitely Maybe. Good way to end the set. They go off, they come back for the encore, and they played the Master Plan, which comes from the CD single of Wonderwall, and again, brilliant track. Noel sings. He also sings "Don't Look Back in Anger," which was the next track they played. The clip that I watched was taken quite. The video was taken quite close to the stage, and you can't hear a single word that Noel sings during that song, because just everyone in the crowd around the bloke who took the video is singing at the top of their voices. So I can't tell you how he performed it, because I don't know. I haven't seen it. With him actually singing. The next track was Wonderwall, obviously classic. Single, and they finished with Champagne Supernova, the closing track from their second album, What's the Story, Morning Glory. So all in all, a brilliant set, I thought, and as I say, they very sensibly stuck to stuff from their first two albums and B-sides of their CD singles that came from those albums. That is their best stuff. As I say, as things develop, they get less and less interesting, I think, as a band. But what an impact they had during that sort of that period, 94, 95, 96, and love them or hate them, Oasis are back with this. This tour they're going to earn an absolute fortune from. I'm not sure whether Oasis will continue as a working band after this tour. I've got a feeling that they won't, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, that's it really. I just thought that they put together a really good set. It was banger after banger after banger, which was very sensible, and I'm sure everyone who was at the Principality last night had a blinding night. And if you're seeing them anywhere on this tour, you're going to have a great night. Be interesting to see as the tour progresses whether they change any of the songs. We'll have to wait and see. But last night they delivered like milkmen, so it looked as if it was a great gig. Okay, that's all from me. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.